Hi there, folks. Welcome back to Rich Reviews. So, my next film is one of the most anticipated films of the year. It's called First Man. This is directed by Damien Chazelle. He came off of La La Land almost winning Best Picture. Yes, I think La La Land still should have won Best Picture. And now he's back with First Man, about the life of Neil Armstrong. This is based off the book by James R. Hansen. And yes, I actually picked up a copy of First Man here, folks. I actually gave this book to my mother, who thought, hey, okay, she'll read it. She only got about halfway through before she had to put it down because, quite frankly, she thought the book was boring. Maybe after seeing this film, my mom will pick up this book again, and hopefully maybe she'll appreciate it more, considering that she remembers the time when, or she actually remembers when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. We're fast approaching the 50th anniversary of that landing. Here's hoping that Buzz Aldrin remains alive for next year. I think this represents the 78-year period in which man trying to beat the Soviet Union to land on the moon, and how, quite frankly, every step of the way involves danger. How we see in the opening film, he's trying to get out of he's coasting through the Earth's atmosphere and coming crashing down and landing. First and foremost, I thought that thing was almost a dream sequence, but no, it's not. We get some recognizable faces here as, yes, Ryan Gosling is indeed Neil Armstrong. We get Claire Foy as his wife. We get Corey Stoll as Buzz Aldrin. We got Shea Wingham as one of the guys who dies on the Apollo 1 mission. We also get Ron Livingston as one of the NASA engineers who basically has to train these guys. Now, quite frankly, a lot of it is also just a bunch of politics because, quite frankly, how else do you explain the funding to get NASA to go to the moon? Because, quite frankly, NASA today is really a shell of its former self. We have to rely on, the Russians. Now there are two controversies addressed to this. One is the shaky cam thing. Here's the thing: I have no problem with shaky cam. I think it adds to the film because, quite frankly, that's really how it was. Because, quite frankly, you see him early on in one of the Gemini things, how that nearly spun out of control and nearly killed him in space to stabilize it. And now, of course, when it comes to the flag, those are people who are really pushing an agenda who have never actually seen the film, because, quite frankly, as presented from the view of Armstrong, as portrayed by Ryan Gosling, a family man, sometimes aloof, and how, I guess, at the end of the mission, how, quite frankly, how a lot of his fellow astronauts went into politics or went to teaching positions. It was really like, why would you consider me famous? I'm just not a famous individual. I did something that was monumental, of course. I think at one time he wanted to be a farmer. His wife who's played here by Claire Foy, who's also going to do Girl in the Spider's Web this year. And she had, well, first of all, Claire Foy has an amazing American accent because her British voice was really good. Here it's even more amazing. She's really a firebrand personality because, quite frankly, she constantly has to get after him, basically saying, yes, what's the chance that you're not coming back? She started telling the kids, oh yes, everything is going to be okay to the kids. And when it comes to that moon landing, that is awesome. And even when you recreate the landing footage on screen, you're thinking, wow, Damien Chazelle pulled this out from the internet somehow. To hear that, one soul spent per man thing, that is really fascinating. I think one of the more interesting things about this film is that there's no postscript. I just found that to be odd. Maybe Chazelle didn't have nothing left to say after we get to the moon, and that was the highlight of the space program in the late 60s. I've also said, oh yes, this is not the same league as The Right Stuff, or From the Earth to the Moon, which I guess some people say is definitive, or Apollo 13. Disagree with that. I think this is a very good film, definitely an award-winning, possible top contender in my list. That of course took quite a while to achieve. Even Apollo 13 probably took a while to achieve that cemented status, although. So in the end, folks, First Man is a fascinating look at a portrait of time in which humanity achieved a great achievement for its own time, how we've been striving to get back there ever since. And so what I'm going to say is that I'm going to give First Man a leave work early, because, quite frankly, if you don't see this film, folks, you're missing out on something. So First Man, have you seen this? What did you think? Please put everything in the comment box below. I'll see you next time, folks. Hooray, yes.